Could Thomas Frank be reunited with Ivan Toney in January as rumours of a transfer to Spurs continue? Dusan Vlahovic still on Spurs' radar, and Tottenham could make a bid for the striker in the next transfer window. Xavi Simons speaks out after a solid performance against Copenhagen. Ademola Lookman bust-up could mean the player falls right into Fabio Paratici's lap. Rodrygo still a target for Spurs as one report tips Spurs to go big in January. And more on the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium naming rights and front of shirt sponsor deals. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube and are not already as yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so. Like, share and comment below. And if you're listening on audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Okay, let's get into it. Thomas Frank would be open to bringing Ivan Toney back to the Premier League, TalkSport understands. Tottenham boss Frank could look to boost his frontline firepower in January to add more goals. Main striker Dominic Solanke has been out with an ankle injury since August, while summer signing Randall Kolo Muani is yet to score, and Mathys Tel has netted just once in 7 league games. Toney hasn't played in England since leaving the Bees in 2024 when he joined Saudi Pro League outfit Al Ahly. The 29-year-old has gone on to net 41 goals in 59 appearances for his current side, helping them to win this year's AFC Champions League. The frontman would be an attractive prospect to a number of English sides, having impressed with Brentford with 36 goals in 83 top-flight games. With all those goals coming under current Tottenham boss Frank, this has prompted speculation that Toney could head to North London should he return to England. TalkSport understands that Al Ahly are reluctant to let him leave mid-season, with the player himself likely to have to push for a move. TalkSport's chief football correspondent Alex Crook believes the forward is exactly what Spurs need, who have struggled for goals from their attacking players. Discussing Tottenham's forward options on TalkSport, Crook said, "I think they're light up front, Tottenham. Obviously, the ongoing injury issues with Dominic Solanke has been a problem for Thomas Frank. I wasn't convinced by Mathys Tel last season. I wasn't really too sure why Spurs made that move permanent. Kolo Muani at the moment I would probably put in a similar bracket." It was at this point that Crook suggested that Toney as a solution to Spurs' problems, although he admitted that the logistics of a deal might not be easy. He reportedly earns a staggering £400,000 a week in Saudi Arabia. Crook continued, "I keep coming back to Ivan Toney for Tottenham. You look at what he did with Thomas Frank at Brentford. I like to think he'd like to come back to the Premier League. Obviously, financially, it might be a difficult deal, but that just looks perfect fit for me. And Spurs either in January or next summer." And Thomas Frank said on Ivan Toney, "Of course, I coached him for a few years. Top player, top guy, very good striker. So let's see what happens in the future." Juventus are starting to hope there might yet be a chance of Dusan Vlahovic staying at the club as 4 Premier League clubs wait on standby for a decision, with Tottenham among them, Team Talk understands. Vlahovic was in good form for Luciano Spalletti's first game in charge at Juventus manager, as he played 85 minutes over the 2-1 win over Cremonese at the weekend. There remains uncertainty about his future after the two parties failed to agree to net a deal with the Serbian striker needing to take a pay cut if he is to stay. Vlahovic's current deal expires at the end of the season, which means he'll be available on a free transfer in the summer. The signs had not been good, despite Vlahovic showing very good commitment and professionalism across the campaign. The Italian club do not want to face a moment where they lose him for free at the end of the season, meaning a mid-season sale is likely as things stand. We understand that Premier League sides, including Tottenham, Chelsea, Everton and West Ham, are expected to be updated on his situation later this month, sources say. Thomas Frank is looking to add a new forward at Spurs, while Chelsea could also make a move for Vlahovic should the opportunity for a cut-price deal arise. Goal report that Tottenham's marquee summer signing Xavi Simons has admitted his start to life in North London has fallen shy of expectations, which followed him when he joined from RB Leipzig for £60 million. Simons has struggled to impose himself on matches and was unanimously substituted off after being brought on as a replacement for the injured Lucas Bergvall in the recent 1-0 defeat by Chelsea. The creative midfielder's performances have shown flashes of his playmaking ability, though he's still adjusting to the pace and physicality of the Premier League. After the match with Copenhagen, Simons told Tottenham's official website, "We enjoyed this game together with the fans and the most important thing is 3 points. I'm a guy that needs to enjoy playing football and that's what I do the most. And tonight you could see together the team was special." He added, "Everyone wants to perform and everyone wants to play good, but this is life. You have to keep working hard and every day is a new day, new challenge, new opportunity to perform well. I've enjoyed it. Obviously, together with the team, we want to perform always, but things went a little bit different. We are working hard every day to try to do our best and to bring the best performance together. You want to perform always, but in life, not everything goes how you want it to. But I will always keep working hard and give 100% and help the team. It's one thing to perform well against a mediocre Copenhagen side, but can Simons do it against Manchester United this weekend? The Dutchman is likely to start in the home match against Ruben Amorim's rejuvenated Red Devils, who are winless in their last 7 meetings with Tottenham in all competitions. But Spurs' home record is dreadful. They've won just 4 matches in their last 20, drawing 4 and losing 12 in a woeful run. They are next in action when they face Manchester United this weekend, as they aim to finally win a Premier League game at home. Team Talk report that Tottenham made a concrete attempt to sign Ademola Lookman in the summer, but he could now fall straight into sporting directors Fabio Paratici's lap in the January transfer window instead, following the shocking turn of events that took place on Wednesday evening. There was always a chance he could be looking for a move in the next year, and now with a public fallout with boss Ivan Juric has pushed him closer towards the exit. The pair clashed after Lookman was substituted in Wednesday's Champions League match in Marseille. Lookman appeared frustrated as he was replaced by Yunus Musa on 75 minutes, and boss Juric then grabbed Lookman by the arm and berated him on the sideline. The former Everton attacker appeared surprised by the reaction of his coach, and as staff pulled them apart, Lookman's future with Atalanta begins to look clouded. Bayern Munich were also interested in Lookman last summer, and it is expected Lookman will become attainable in January. Early indications suggest Atalanta would be looking for a permanent deal if he is to leave the club, as was the case over the summer. Team Talk report that Tottenham are gearing up for 2 crucial transfer windows in which they could shatter records, according to Team Talk sources, with Real Madrid superstar high on their shortlist. Spurs, under new manager Thomas Frank, have got off to an excellent start this season in both the Premier League and Champions League and are dreaming of a big campaign. Frank is keen to bring in some more exciting players in January and next summer, and he's set to have the full backing of the Tottenham board. Strengthening in their wide options is a top priority, as we have reported, and Real Madrid star Rodrygo is high on the radar, along with Juventus ace Kenan Yildiz. Transfer expert Dean Jones has exclusively told Team Talk that we can expect big things from Tottenham in the coming transfer windows amid further investment from owners ENIC. Before the January transfer window opens, I think we will get a better realisation of how high Tottenham are ready to set the bar when it comes to making new signings, Jones started. It is a difficult window to make a statement signing, but I would expect us to get a good idea soon of their intent in terms of where they are going to take the club in 2026 and beyond. I already reported about the wide attacking targets being an area of priority, and that absolutely is a case, and they have been drawing up names over the past 2 weeks. But even as part of that, they realise that some of the names are probably going to be off limits in the next transfer window. I really think Spurs will seek to make some of the biggest signings in their history. They have to be careful as part of that, because there will be a chance that of the new investment comes into the club at a premium, and you're asked to pay for talent. But for the likes of Rodrygo at Real Madrid or Yildiz at Juve become a genuine possibility in January or in the summer, then I think Spurs will put themselves in the picture. Rodrygo has been on Tottenham's radar for some time, but it's worth noting that other Premier League sides will be in the mix should he become available. TBR Football report that Tottenham Hotspur owners ENIC is exploring a major commercial opportunity and package that would combine the club's next front of shirt sponsorship deal with naming rights for the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The proposal could be worth around £500 million in total, likely over a 10-year period, generating roughly £50 million a year from both the shirt and stadium rights combined. Tottenham's current shirt sponsor, AIA Group Limited, will move to a training wear sponsorship role from July 2027, leaving the front of shirt space available at the end of the 27 season. The club have also been developing a broader naming rights strategy, including potential stand-specific deals under a concept known as the Collective. Sounds like something out of Mission Impossible. The industry experts suggest that merging the shirt and stadium sponsorships makes a strong commercial sense, offering a unified brand presence and long-term value. However, they also note that finding a single company able to cover both rights packages could be challenging, particularly given issues of category exclusivity. With AIA remaining involved in training wear, Tottenham's next main sponsor is unlikely to come from the insurance or financial services sector. Okay, well, here's my thoughts on all those stories today. Ivan Toney, we've kind of been over Ivan Toney before, but the rumours are still circulating, aren't they? Ivan Toney was a really good player at Brentford, and he seems to be doing really well in the Saudi Pro League. Obviously worked with Thomas Frank, and he knows the Premier League as well, as I say. So would Ivan Toney make sense? Could a deal be struck? What I think will be the stumbling block, if Thomas Frank is keen to bring Toney back to play with him, is his wages. £400,000 a week. We are not going to pay that for Ivan Toney or anyone, to be honest. I can't see the deal happening as it stands at £400,000 a week. Why would we pay that? And why would the Saudi club pay half his wages? We know these deals can get done, but that's a hell of a lot of money. So, and personally, I'm not sure how I feel about Toney coming to the company. Look, he's a great player, but having thought about it, I think there are possibly better options out there and younger options. It depends if they're certainly not going to view Ivan Toney if he comes as a long-term fit at Tottenham because of his age, and there are younger players out there like the second one I'm going to talk about, Dusan Vlahovic. Dusan Vlahovic is, or has been, on Tottenham's radar for, it seems like, years actually. Club's still keen on the player, and with Fabio Paratici now back at the club and having so many links to Italian football, wouldn't surprise me if we do go for Dusan Vlahovic in January. Fabio Paratici has been keen on the player, as we know, for many transfer windows, and as I say, the club have as well. So I could probably see us going for Vlahovic. Whether we can get the deal done, of course, is another thing. Hasn't scored as many goals this season as he has done in the past, but there's no doubt there is a definite player in there. Really good record. So let's see how that goes. Xavi Simons coming out and talking. Really good to see Xavi Simons. Hopefully he's got a bit of confidence now after that performance against Copenhagen. And you could say, yes, it was against Copenhagen, and they're not going to be the strongest opposition we come up against in the Premier League this season. But going into the Man U game, I would hope Xavi Simons gets another start. And as I say, hopefully that confidence will grow it with Xavi, because you've seen what he can do. We all know what he can do and what we've seen he's capable of for the Dutch national side. So it was really good timing, I think, against Copenhagen to see Xavi Simons put in such a commanding display, get the ball on the half turn, and where he's previously been passing backwards, he's going forwards, half turn, put in a couple of lovely balls across to Kolo Muani against Copenhagen, and Kolo Muani should have done better with both of them. But really good to see Xavi Simons come out. You can see he's working hard. You can see he wants to do well, so long may that continue. Another player in Italy, Ademola Lookman. We were linked with Lookman in the summer, of course, ex-Everton. It sounds like he's had a bit of a bust up on the sideline with his manager, as reported. So whether that will be smoothed over or whether the club will be keen on moving him on, whether that be in January or the summer. As I say, we've been interested in Lookman. His numbers are fantastic. Again, can play anywhere across the front line. So that would kind of fit in with Thomas Frank's system, wouldn't it? So be interesting to see what fee he would command. Sometimes when a player wants to leave a club, as stated, he has to push for that deal. Will Lookman push for the deal? He'll be aware of the interest from Spurs. So let's see what happens on that one. But get down in the comments, which one would you want out of those three? For example, Ivan Toney, Dusan Vlahovic, Xavi Simons or Ademola Lookman. Rodrygo, I thought I'd throw this one in. Rumours, I personally can't see Rodrygo happening. I just don't think the money's going to be there to bring in Rodrygo. There'll be a host of clubs sniffing around, but Rodrygo not getting the minutes at Real Madrid. So he may well want to move with the World Cup coming up next summer and get some minutes. Who knows? Who knows? Could be another Klinsmann moment. We could be bringing in Rodrygo, and certainly that left wing position again. Even though Odegaard played well the other night, still nobody's really jumped on that position and made it their own. And the stadium naming rights and front of shirt sponsor deals. This will be incredibly interesting. This does fascinate me, which way the club are going to go. Seeing the AIA deal extended only to training wear from the end of 27. So we're looking for a new front of shirt sponsor. Perhaps Holston might come in, who knows. But if it's combined, the shirts with the stadium naming rights deal, that is going to be worth a serious amount of money to Tottenham Hotspur. There was rumours, Google, X, Facebook, there's been a lot of big names mentioned. Amazon was another one. But there's nothing concrete out there, and the club no doubt will be trying to keep that under wraps. So let's see what that is. But get down in the comments, let me know, who would you like to sponsor Tottenham Hotspur if you had the choice. Right, that's all from me today. So get down in the comments, as always. Let me know your thoughts on all those stories today, or anything else you want to talk about Tottenham related. And as always, come on you Spurs.